Sam Ford, thanks for joining us on Coffee Near Me. We're at Spencer's Coffee House in downtown Bowling Green. As you can hear, they're preparing the drinks, the libations. But you're a digital media strategist. You study, you research media. And so let's talk about media. Fake news, citizen journalist, conventional media. Is that even, where are we in this world right now?
Well, we have the benefit of everyone can publish information now. You have the ability for the airwaves or the press to be owned by a much wider portion of the public, which means a lot of underreported stories are now getting attention. That's real positive.
It's
very hard to vet information when you have a much wider diversity of sources, and when you're getting your information often, for instance, via social media feeds, where what you see is who shared it among your friend set, not necessarily in many cases do you pay as much attention to where it came from. And that presents a lot of difficulties. Previously, if there were only a few news brands, it's easy to say, okay, that came from, and even if you don't read that publication regularly, you might have a working knowledge of who they are, what they do.
And their credibility, if indeed there is that. Yeah.
And now that is much more challenging to uncover.
Okay, fake news. I've been in the news business a long time. And when you hear someone spouting about something they read on social media, and it's almost as if it's okay that it's fake news.
Well, one of the things that I was at a conference not that long ago, and I did a session called "In Defense of Fake News."
Defense of, he said.
It was meant to be a little provocative, but the idea we had was, well, often when people are sharing a story that isn't true, it's because they think it speaks to a larger truth. So,
an individual larger truth?
Yes.
Okay.
So, for instance, if someone shares an anecdote with you and you fact check their anecdote, you've also missed the point of why they shared the anecdote.
Maybe.
And a lot of these stories are really, the bigger truth that's meant to be expressed is a worldview. So that means there are two layers of truth to tackle. There's the literal micro story that's being shared, and there have been some real gains in the news business to figure out better ways to fact check those stories. And
just the fact that we have fact checkers now,
Absolutely,
yeah.
But to me that's just one layer. I'm interested in how journalists and other people who study media, etc., can learn from the fake news stories that take traction, because that tells you
look at the bigger picture,
the macro.
Yeah.
Why are people sharing that? I had an idea of what if you had a recommendation platform that said, it seems you're trying to express frustration with the government. Here is a verified true story instead that makes a similar point.
Which was clever, very clever. So what would you say to consumers of information? Just keep doing what you're doing, or stop and take a look?
I think part of it is just thinking of Uncle Ben in the Spider-Man comics says that with great power comes great responsibility. We have more control than we've ever had before in how media circulates, and we need to though think about, we have the power at any point we receive a media text to check it out before we pass it on. And I think we need to exercise that power collectively. And that comes from media literacy in schools to media literacy for adults, to think about what are the ways you can check this out and make sure it's true.
Take responsibility. Take responsibility. Sam Ford, always taking responsibility. Digital media strategist. If we went through all his credentials, we'd be here for another hour. Thanks for joining us on Coffee Near Me. And of course, feel free to continue the conversation in the comment section below.